She tried to roast me at our anniversary party, then her best friend said, actually, he was pretty good. Hi, I'm Reed, 34. And my wife decided to humiliate me in front of our friends by joking that I was awful in bed. She thought it was funny, until her best friend casually revealed she'd experienced otherwise. Friday night was supposed to be a chill, bougie little anniversary dinner Cara's idea. Hosted at our place, 5 other couples invited, catered food, fancy glasses, everyone playing adult dress up. I was sitting there, 2 sodas deep, nodding politely while people fake laughed about mortgages and kale. And then Cara, my wife of 4 years, decided the night needed entertainment. She clinked her glass, all tipsy smiles. So, wanna know what keeps the spark alive after 4 years of marriage? She giggled. Short answer, it doesn't. I gave her a side glance. Please no, come on. She nudged my arm. Reed thinks he's like amazing in bed. She waved her hand toward me like I was a magician with bed tricks. But I swear, his idea of foreplay is asking, are you ready? And then just hop on, rides over in 4 minutes flat, the light chuckles. Some of the guys looked deeply uncomfortable. I stared at my plate, and every single time, Cara continued, now really warming up to her routine. He wants to cuddle like he just cured cancer. I'm like, bro, you folded a fitted sheet faster than that. Actual laughter now. Her friend Monica was in full wheeze. My ears were burning, but I didn't flinch. Just sipped my soda and let her keep going. Then came the bomb. Sloan, Cara's best friend since college, calmly set down her wine glass and said, that's funny. Because I remember Reed being actually really good in bed. The silence was instant. I mean, MIC drop silence. Someone coughed. Monica's mouth hung open mid-laugh like she'd been tased. Cara blinked. Once. Twice. What? She said, dead quiet. Sloan just shrugged. Sorry, just thought since we were all being honest. Cara's face drained of color so fast I thought she might faint. You're lying. Sloan gave her a tight little smile. June 14th, your Miami conference. You left the gray sheets on. I still hadn't said a word. Just took another sip. This was no longer my dinner party, this was theater. Cara turned to me. Reed, tell me she's lying. I looked at Sloan. Then Cara, then back to Sloan. She's not. And then it got really interesting. Cara's chest reached backward so violently it slammed into the wall. You're cheating on me, she barked, pointing a shaking finger at me like she was Judge Judy and I was the world's dumbest defendant. I leaned back, arms crossed. Same week you were in Miami with Jared from work. You know, the guy who sends you those "can't wait to see you in that black thing again" texts. The oxygen got sucked out of the room. One of the guys stood up like maybe he should step and then sat right back down like nope, not my circus. I never, how did you? Cara stammered, blinking like she was rebooting. Your phone. 3 weeks ago. You left it unlocked on the kitchen counter, I said flatly. I read everything. 6 months of messages, hotels, selfies, and complaints about how I'm a golden retriever with a wet towel personality, Monica whispered. Oh my god. Her husband grabbed their coats. Cara lunged for my phone. I stepped back. Oh, also, I added, I know about the divorce lawyer. The one you called 2 weeks ago. Said you were waiting until my promotion cleared so you could maximize the payout. Real classy silence. Then a slow exodus. One couple after another slipped out, mumbling thanks for dinner while avoiding eye contact like I'd grown horns. Only Sloan remained, sitting with one leg crossed, sipping her wine like this was her favorite show. When the front door finally closed behind the last guest, Harris spun on me. You had no right. You slept with my best friend. Sloan raised her glass. Former best friend. Let's not oversell the brand, I shrugged. You had no problem sleeping with Jared while I was cooking your dinners, cleaning your mess, and doing your laundry like a one-man support staff. That's different. How? Because I was going to leave you. That actually made me laugh. Exactly. You just wanted to rob me first. Cara's hands curled into fists. You're disgusting. I walked to the kitchen drawer, pulled out a folder, and dropped it on the table. Divorce papers. Already filed. You'll get the official service notice Monday. But I thought, hey, why not end the party with a bang? She flipped through it, her hands shaking. You're taking everything that's mine? Yeah, I said. The house is in my name. The car's paid off and titled to me. You'll get half of what's in our joint account about $4,000. Enjoy. Cara's voice cracked. I made a mistake. We can fix this. I cut her off. You didn't make a mistake. You made a plan. You just didn't expect me to have one too. And that's when she snapped. She lunged not at me at Sloan. Cara launched herself across the room like a malfunctioning roomba set to rage mode. Full claws out, scream loaded pounds. Sloan didn't even flinch. She just tilted her head slightly, like she'd been expecting this since appetizer hour. I caught Cara mid-air. Let me go, she screeched, flailing hard enough to kick the wine glass off the table. It shattered against the floor. She ruined my marriage. I held her arms back. No, you did that. Sloan just provided color commentary. Cara twisted, thrashed, caught me in the shoulder with an elbow. She's jealous. She's always been jealous of me. My life, my job, you? Sloan stood up calmly and adjusted her dress. Please. I only ever wanted one thing of yours. She looked at me, and it was disappointingly temporary. You slept with him to hurt me. Sloan's smile was eyes. Correct. And you slept with Jared because... What? You were lonely, bored, or just enjoyed the attention? Cara spat a half word, then lunged again. I pulled her back once more. I will shoot both of you, she screamed. You think I don't have options? I have friends. I have nothing, I said. Suddenly quiet, she froze. You have nothing left, Cara. You blew up our marriage for a guy who bailed the second you got caught. Your job gone once HR sees those texts Sloan collected. Your plan burnt. Your fallback. I looked around, standing in a dining room full of broken glass, screaming threats at people who finally stopped letting you manipulate them. Her chest heaved, eyes glossy, lip trembling, and then the tears came, not the dramatic ones she used for sympathy. The real, ugly kind. Mascara dripping. Breathing uneven, Sloan sighed, grabbed her purse, and made for the door. Wait, Cara croaked. You planned this. The two of you. Sloan stopped, turned halfway. No, he played the long game. I just brought popcorn. Cara collapsed into the chair like someone had unplugged her battery. I gave you the best years of my life. I raised an eyebrow. You spent them cheating, lying, and texting that I had the emotional range of a kitchen sponge. The silence between us was deafening. I want you out tonight. I said finally. You can't, this is my home too. No, it's mine. Deeds in my name. And as of this afternoon, we're legally separated. You've got family. Go stay with them. Her eyes went cold again. You'll regret this. I really don't think I will. She stood slowly, grabbed her purse, walked toward the door. At the last second, she turned back. This isn't over. I smiled. That's what Jared's wife said when she messaged me this morning. Cara's face dropped one last time, then she left, and I locked the door behind her. The door clicked shut. I stood there in the silence for a full minute, breathing like I'd just run a marathon made of lies and petty vengeance. Then I turned and saw Sloan still there, leaning casually against the hallway wall, swirling the last inch of wine in her glass. You staying? I asked. She smirked. You tell me. I grabbed a trash bag, started sweeping up the broken glass. The show's over, Sloan. She stepped closer, doing that slow, sultry walk that might have worked if I didn't already know what she was like when she wanted blood. We could celebrate. Just you and me. No more pretending. No more secrets. I dumped the glass in the trash. We were never anything. Speak for yourself, she said, hand on my arm now. You can't tell me that night didn't mean something. I looked at her, the flawless makeup, the smug confidence, the twitch at the corner of her mouth that said she was already planning the next power move. It meant I was angry. And you were convenient. Her face changed. The sultry mask cracked just a bit. Reed, let's not pretend we're not the same. I cut in. You wanted revenge. You got it. Congrats. But this thing between us. It ends here. She froze. Are you serious? As a restraining order, I said, gesturing to the door. You're making a mistake. Her voice sharpened. I helped you. No, you helped yourself. Cara humiliated you, and you used me to humiliate her back. Can it be both? I nodded. Sure, but either way, you don't get to stay. Sloan stared at me, jaw clenched, trying to calculate whether seduction, guilt, or rage would get her what she wanted. Finally, she gave up, grabbed her purse, and stomped to the door. You'll regret this. Maybe, I said, holding it open, but at least I'll regret it alone. She left without another word. I locked the door again. Double this time. Deadbolt and chain. Then I looked around my wrecked apartment. Half-eaten fancy dinner. Wine-stained tablecloth. Crystal glasses abandoned like a wedding gone to hell. I laughed. Not the bitter kind. The real kind, because it was done. I changed the locks the next morning. Cancelled the utilities in her name. Blocked her on everything. She showed up Sunday banging on the door, sobbing and screaming. I slipped on my noise-cancelling headphones and watched the Bears game. Security eventually escorted her out. Monday came. And so did the email from her lawyer, some boilerplate demand letter about division of marital assets and wrongful eviction. My lawyer responded with the screenshots. The infidelity. The prenup clause she'd forgotten existed. Radio silence. Until Tuesday. That's when Jason, one of the guys from the dinner party, called me. Bro, did you hear? About what? Cara. She got fired yesterday. I blinked. What? HR walked her out. Jared, too. Whole office knows. I stared at the wall, and the best part. Jason continued. Someone sent HR all the screenshots. Texts, photos, hotel reservations. Everything. I sat down. Sloan. Of course, it was Sloan, and she wasn't done yet. Wednesday morning, I got the confirmation. Sloan called. I sent everything. She said, no hello. The whole folder. Emails, screenshots, the hotel receipts, even the text where she said Jared was her real husband. I exhaled slowly. You do this before or after you stormed out of my apartment? Before, she said. Don't flatter yourself. That whole dinner party performance was just the warm-up. You're proud of this. She scoffed. Read. I sat on that info for months. She poached my client, sabotaged my promotion, humiliated me for years, and then had the nerve to joke about your sex life like she was some queen on a throne. She earned this. I didn't argue. She wasn't wrong, anyway, she said coolly. Thought you should know your ex just became unemployed. Jared too. Office gossips exploding. She hung up without waiting for a thank you. Later that day, I got a call from Cara's dad Richard. A no-nonsense kind of guy who built his construction company from the ground up and once told me over Thanksgiving dinner. I like you, Reed. You've got calluses and manners, son, he said. I heard what happened. I'm sorry. I hesitated. You heard she cheated, or that she got fired. Both, he grunted. She's staying at her mother's. Already tried to blame everything on you, but Diane ain't buying it. Neither am I. I rubbed my temple. Thanks. I didn't expect that. She's spiraling, he said. And listen, I don't say this lightly, but you're better off. Whatever happens next, you got us in your corner. Appreciate that. One more thing, he added. You still on the lease? I own the place. Good. A pause. Change the locks. Diane will cover the cost. I smiled. Already done. By the weekend. It got worse for her. Apparently, Sloan hadn't just sent everything to our. She'd also forwarded it to Jared's wife. An anonymous email. No name, just the receipts. Saturday night. Jared's wife, now ex-wife, posted the whole affair on Facebook. Screenshots, text threads, tagged Cara, Jared, even the hotels. One post, hundreds of comments. His family disowned him. Her professional contacts started disappearing. People began unfollowing her in droves. By Monday, her LinkedIn page was down. Tuesday, her Instagram bio had gone from marketing exec, talk MOM, fierce vibes only, to just learning and growing. She tried messaging me Wednesday morning. Blocked. Thursday, she showed up with her brother to collect her things. I'd already boxed everything up, labeled each one by room. Neat. Sterile. Her brother, Tony, looked at me, embarrassed. Jude, sorry about all this. For what it's worth, the family's done with her too. Even MOM. She'll be fine, I said, loading the last box. People like her always land on someone else's feet, he smirked. Still, you dodged a nuke. Friday, a handwritten letter slid under my door. 3 pages. I never meant to hurt you. I lost myself. Tiger meant nothing. We were just friends. I'm in therapy now. I forgive you for changing the locks. She forgives me. I took a photo and texted it to Richard. His reply, the audacity is genetic. By the end of that week, the social fallout hit full meltdown status. Cara's little Instagram girl gang, the same squad that laughed at her roast during the dinner, started publicly splitting. Monica unfollowed her first, then Kelsey, then all the rest, like dominoes with fake lashes and matching brunch outfits. Why? Because Sloan, in full supervillain mode, dropped a group chat leak. Apparently, Cara had a separate thread where she trashed every single one of her so-called friends, like, aggressively, screenshots of her calling Monica a loudmouth Walmart Kardashian, saying Kelsey's boyfriend was a discount Hemsworth with a neck tattoo, and even mocking Sloan's fertility struggles from last year. It was like she speedrun Betrayal. Sloan posted it to a burner Instagram and tagged everyone. It took about 5 hours for the mutuals to flip. Monica went full caps lock on Twitter. She called me fat while I was in the hospital. I gave this girl my leftover tacos. Never again. Kelsey posted a tearful video. I covered for her so many times when she skipped rent, skipped work. And this is what she thinks of me. Even Jared's wife joined in. She found me through LinkedIn, no joke, and sent a message. I just want to say thank you for exposing them. You didn't owe me anything, but you still blew the whistle. My kids are better off, and so are you. The Reddit thread someone started titled, "Influencer Gets Exposed by Her Own Husband and Best Friend Live at Her Anniversary Dinner," hit the front page, and then came the podcast episode. Yep, someone from Sloan's firm recorded the entire dinner on their phone. The whole scene, Cara's sex jokes, Sloan's deadpan reveal, the whole room imploding. It got posted anonymously. Within 2 days, it had 150,000 plays. People started adding dramatic music, remixing it, making TikToks. June 14th started trending the day Sloan said she slept with me. Someone made a fake movie trailer with that as the title. Voiceover guy. She had the affair. He had the receipts. But Sloan had June 14th. It was surreal. Cara, once the social butterfly, was now radioactive. Her old firm issued a vague statement about values and conduct. Jared's ex took half his savings and filed for custody of their dog and me. I was just quiet, didn't post, didn't argue. Let the tornado spin itself out while I made coffee and watched the sunset from my now peaceful, empty, drama-free apartment until the knock on the door. I opened it, half expecting another rage delivery, but no, just a quiet envelope on the floor. Inside, a final message from Sloan. No regrets, but maybe don't date best friends next time. P.S. You were great. Still kinda hate you though. Fair. 3 weeks of silence. No texts, no knocks, no drama. I'd started thinking maybe, just maybe, it was finally over. Then came Wednesday night. I'd just reheated some leftover lo mein, flopped on the couch, and queued up a game when someone started banging on my door. Not knocking, banging. Fists, palms, pure chaos. I checked the peephole, Cara and Sloan together. I didn't even open it right away. Just leaned against the door, stunned, listening to them screaming at each other in my hallway. You ruined my life, Cara yelled. You ruined your own life when you slept with a married man. Sloan snapped back. I just reported it. You slept with my husband. 6 months after you slept with your coworker, genius. They were practically nose to nose when I finally opened the door, both whipped toward me like I was the final boss in their screaming match. You? Cara jabbed a finger in my face. Her lip was still slightly swollen from last time. You got me fired. You turned everyone against me. I literally didn't, I said. You did all that yourself. Sloan just hit send. And now she thinks she gets to win. Cara shrieked, spinning on Sloan. You think just because you exposed me and slept with my husband that makes you better? I don't need to be better than you, Sloan said, calm but venomous. That bar's underground. You're jealous. You always have been. My job, my looks, your chipped tooth, Sloan said sweetly. Still healing? Cara lunged. Again. This time she got a handful of Sloan's hair and yanked. Sloan shrieked and grabbed back. They went down like an MMA cage match sponsored by Sephora, shrieking, clawing, rolling on the hallway carpet while I just stood there, chopsticks in hand, watching 2 designer handbags go flying. Eventually, I pulled up my phone and said, I'm calling the cops in 10 seconds if you're still on the floor. They froze, separated like middle schoolers caught fighting in a cafeteria. Both stood hair wild, makeup smeared, Sloan's blouse torn at the collar, Cara breathing like she'd run a mile in heels. We're both out of your minds, I said. This ends here. No more shows in my hallway. I came to talk, Cara said, trying to look composed. To fix things. You showed up screaming and tackled someone. Not a great opening move. She looked at me with wide, tear-filled eyes. Please, Reed. I made a mistake. I want us back. You're kidding, right? I've changed. I'm in therapy. I've been journaling. You journaled your way to Jared's hotel room for 6 months. Sloan wiped blood from her lip. He doesn't want either of us, genius. Accept it. Cara turned on her again. You don't speak for him. I don't have to. He literally told you no. I nodded. Sloan's right. Cara's voice cracked. But I loved you. I tilted my head. You loved what I did for you. Not me. Then Sloan stepped forward. I do love you, she said. Oh no. Not this again. I do love you. Sloan said again, eyes shining like this was a Nicholas Sparks finale and not, a post-catfight standoff in my hallway. Cara actually laughed. It was the deranged kind, short, sharp, and echoing of the plaster. You're serious? She scoffed. You think he's gonna ride off into the sunset with you after everything? Sloan squared her shoulders, ignoring the blood on her lip. I know I messed up, but at least I was honest. Honest? I blinked. You used me as a missile to nuke your frenemy, collateral damage, she said softly. But somewhere in there, it got real for me. I shook my head. That's not how relationships work. You don't light a fire and then offer marshmallows. She reached for my hand. I stepped back. I'm not interested, Sloan. Not in you. Not in whatever twisted rivalry this was. I'm done. Her hand dropped. Her face hardened. You'll regret this. Maybe, I said. But not tonight. Cara, of course, saw an opening. We could try again, she said, softening her voice. The lip swelling was down, but the desperation was still loud. Forget Miami. Forget the divorce stuff. You and me, we were good once. No, Cara. I was good. You just liked having someone to use. Her face fell. I lost everything. That's not my problem anymore. They both stood there, looking ruined. Mascara smudged. Dignity scattered across my hallway like glitter after a breakup party. And I just pointed to the elevator. Both of you. Out. Sloan glared. Cara tried one last sniffle. Neither moved. So I pulled out my phone. This time I'm not bluffing. I'm calling the police. Trespassing, harassment, disturbing the peace. And I will press charges. That got them moving. Sloan walked with forced grace. Blouse torn. Heels crooked. Cara shuffled behind her, dragging her tote like it weighed 100 pounds. When the elevator dinged, they stepped in without a word. No final insults. No dramatic exits. Just defeat. The doors closed. Silence. I stood there for a second, just breathing. Then I turned back into my apartment, locked the door, and looked around at the spotless space I now had all to myself. I reheated my lo mein, flopped back on the couch, and picked up my controller. One bite in, my phone buzzed. Venmo notification. Your request to Cara for $6,427 is still pending. I laughed so hard I almost dropped my food, and for the first time in months, I didn't feel like the punchline anymore. I felt free.